Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Daily Hustle. We got a very special guest right here. We got the man himself, the world-class dot connector,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Split Your Wig, Mr. Please
Yes,
Say
sir.
the J, Brandon J. Wigley. What's going on, man?
I like that, bro. I like that. You got to introduce me all the time. God damn it. All is love, bro. All is love. I feel good leaving the gym physically right, getting physically right, mentally with you, bro. So I'm good.
Well, hey, man, thank you for being here, man. I'm glad you're here because, guys, the thing about Brandon is that he has a lot of experience and perspective on networking, on systems, on growing companies, marketing, all those things. So I kind of want to get into that. We're going to get into that later. But first, just tell us a little bit about like your upbringing, where you came from, etc.
Yeah, for sure, man. So once again, my name is Brandon J. Wigley. Please say the J. The J is for Jarrell, for those who know. My mom and dad named me after Superman's dad name. His name is Jarrell. A lot of people don't know that. That's a fact. So I was born in New Orleans, moved from New Orleans to Florida around like the third grade. And we kind of just stayed put in Orlando, Florida. So from third grade to 12th grade, grew up in Orlando, dope city. You know what I'm saying? It's dope. You know, you got the tourist attractions. You got the inner city of Orlando. A lot of people don't know about. So growing up in Orlando was real dope. Grew up playing basketball. You know, I think every young Black kid in America, to a certain extent, want to play sports and take it to the next level. So I was always on a great team. I wasn't always the best player, but you know, I was the sixth man on the state championship basketball team. So when I was there, we went to 3 state championships. We won 1, we lost 2. We played on ESPN. So basketball was my thing growing up. I didn't grow up thinking like, oh, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Like that bug hit me later on in life. But I don't want to, speed up the interview, but I just want to talk about I was going to go a little fast, but that's my upbringing in a nutshell, man. Orlando, Florida, growing up playing sports, thinking that one day I want to go to the NBA or something. Then you realize, bro, you're not that fast and you can't jump as high as a lot of cats. So you got to figure something else out. So that's my early journey.
So like growing up in Orlando, as you said, you know what I'm saying? When I hear Orlando, when most people hear Orlando, if they're not from Florida or they're not from the South, they may think like, it's Disney that's out there, right? Disney World, or is it
Yeah, Disney, all of them.
Yeah.
Disney, SeaWorld, Universal,
yeah.
All that. You know what I mean?
So like did that
Islands of Adventure.
Yeah. So like how is it like growing up in a city where all those things are headquarters? Got to be a lot of traffic coming in from like people from other countries and like around the world, around America, right? Or did that have any influence on you growing up or not?
Not at all, because it's so far away. So so Disney World not even really in Orlando, it's in Kissimmee. So it's kind of like people always, Orlando the bigger city, so they're gonna call. So you think about Atlanta, you got Alpharetta, you got Norcross, you got, so that's basically how it is. Like I grew up in, let's say, Atlanta, but Disney World is Lawrenceville. You know what I'm saying? So, but I will say, I worked at Disney. If you can get in high school, if you could get a job at those parks, you was the shit. Because at that time, they was paying $10 an hour. Think about that. In high school, that's a lot of money back then, especially in the early 2000s, in the 90s. You was making $10 an hour. So I was able to buy my school clothes and stuff. I was cool, by being able to make $10 an hour. But I didn't really grow up around, it's 45, 30, 45 minutes away from where I live. So we wasn't really influenced on the tourists and stuff much, because it was so, it's on the outside city.
Yeah, I thought it was like in the city. I was like, that must have been wild growing up in the same city as Disney World. But now you got
it's crazy because some people some people are born and raised in Orlando, and they never even been to Disney World. You know, so it's crazy.
Oh. So for college, I know you went to college in Florida too. You went to FSU,
University of South Florida, USF.
You
so
USF.
That's USF, University of South Florida, right in Tampa, Florida. It's like an hour and a half away from Orlando. I didn't want to go. I'm a mama's boy. I'm the only child, so I grew up with my mom. I didn't want to go too far away from Mom Duke, so I just decided to go to Tampa. It's an hour and a half. Super dope, man. Went actually to go be a preferred walk-on the basketball team.
Okay.
That ain't work out because smoking weed and kind of got caught with that. So that kind of changed my whole trajectory of in the college. But I always had good grades, so I was always able to stay and kind of take my college career from there.
Yeah. So for college for me was a big factor in who I am now, as far as like my social skills, as far as being able to like talk to people that I don't know, like being able to meet somebody and in 2 seconds like figure out how to vibe with them or whatever. Yep. So like college was a big thing for me because I was able to take a lot of those skills into other things. Was it the same for you? Was there anything or anybody or any specific moments from college that you feel had like a huge impact?
Hell yeah. College, I'm not one of those people that say people don't need to go to college.
Yeah.
Granted, you can get in some debt. Don't get me wrong. I'm one of the people blessed. I came out with not too much crazy debt. It's people that got 6 figures in debt from college. Me, just to be transparent, I probably owe like 40 grand. You know what I'm saying? That's a nice car. Yeah, it's not too crazy. Yeah. But I say the relationships I met in college are priceless, bro. Like you said, I was able to meet so many nationalities, so many races. Even in a predominantly white university, all the black students stuck together. Yeah, and we were able to network and vibe. For people that's in Atlanta that's listening, I went to college with Ferrari Simmons. He's on one of the biggest club hosts in the city on 94.5. I met Dave. He's vice president of United Masters with Steve Stout. Like that's my dog. Kerry Classic.
I fucks with Kerry, man.
Kerry Classic. He's over marketing at Sony Music. Yeah, he's on Sony Music. So yeah, man, I met so many people, man, that in college that those relationships are priceless. And I will say this too, in college, was my first time meeting a Muslim woman that has the wraps, that cover their face and everything.
Hijab, I think.
I'm not sure. So forgive me, anybody that's watching. I'm not sure.
It's called a hijab. So if I'm
I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah,
but and that's my dog to this day. Her name is Shireen. Shout out to Shireen. I stereotyped them before I met her. Growing up in high school, middle school, I thought, they didn't have a personality. I just thought they were just robotic. When I met Shireen, we had class together. I'm like, you cool as fuck. Like, you regular. You know what I'm saying? This might sound ignorant, but from somebody that's 17, 18 years old, never met anybody like this, it changed my perspective. So college changed my perspective on a lot of things, bro.
So like what made you, I guess, so after college, you decided to leave Florida immediately, or you stuck around a little while? Like, what was that?
Oh, man, so let's go back to sports. A lot of people don't know sports and music, my first love. I played the guitar. You know what I'm saying? I played the saxophone in middle school, played basketball. So I went to school for education to be a teacher.
Okay.
So out of high school, my senior year in college, I was coaching at Tampa Catholic High School, coaching basketball. So when I was there one day, I was probably there 2 years after graduation as well. Kerry Classic called me. He said, bro, he moved to the A a year before me, him and Ferrari and Dave. Okay. He's like, bro, the A where it's at, you need to move. I'm like, what? And I always pride myself, and I tell people this all the time. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I pull the trigger faster than most people.
Yeah. Okay.
So I ain't going to sit there where most people, if they got an idea or they thinking of something, they're going to think on it for 2-3 weeks. It took me 2 days. I'm like, all right, shoot. I'm in Tampa. I'm coaching high school basketball. It's cool. I love it. But I don't have no kids at this time. I'm living in an apartment. I'm living in an apartment at this time. My rent only $475.
Yeah,
like it's crazy.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like 600 square feet. I'm paying $475 for rent. And around this time, it was tax season. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take all my tax money and just pay up bills for like 3-4 months, whatever bills I had. Like I think, you know, my car note, a couple of things.
Yeah.
And I just packed up, man. At this time, this when J. Cole Friday Night Lights came out. So I packed up everything I owned in my whip. I only had $700 to my name, and I'm like, man, shoot, I'll find a job soon in Atlanta. This is Atlanta, I'll find a job. And I just rolled out, man, to Atlanta with $700 to my name, and slept on my homie Carrie Classic couch for 7 months. I thought I was gonna get a job, but it took me 7 months to find one. So that's where, once again, college and, you know, good friends and people in your life that when you down, they're able to help you. And I look at you like that too, bro. Whenever I'm in the bind, you know what I'm saying, I know I could call T, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So I love it.
So you had spoke about being able to pull the trigger quickly, right? Is that something you had to like kind of groom yourself to like learn, or you was naturally like that? Because that's a huge factor with a lot of things. Some people may contemplate switching, like moving to another city and take years before they make that decision, like literally. So like, is that just like the way you are, or you had to learn that?
That's a great question, T. I think I'm just like it. I don't think I learned it, bro. I've been like that since a kid. Okay. I remember my dad, he worked at this pastry shop, and he used to bring home pastries at night. And this was kind of like my first little entrepreneur like bug, but I wasn't thinking myself as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I think he just joked around and said, man, y'all should sell these if y'all ain't gonna eat them. And I ain't have to think about it. I'm like, bam. And you know, in the apartment complex, you got those green boxes, like those electric boxes.
Yeah.
We called it the stoop. So we used to post up and sell stale donuts and pastries and shit. So, you know, I've always been able to pull the trigger fast, man. But I don't think I learned it. That's a great question, dog. Because I be feeling like I don't got nothing to lose. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
I think that helped me in sales.
Yeah.
Being a great salesman, I've always had a mouthpiece. As the great philosopher Tip Harris says, T.I., blessed with a gift of gab. You know what I'm saying? And I think I've always had that. So that allows me to like not fear no, the answer no and all of that. I just go with it, bro. I ain't scared to, man, I always tell this story, man. I done had 400,000 in my account, like true story, and I done had negative 400 in my account. So I done had both sides, bro. Yeah. So I'm like, man, what's gonna happen to me, bro? Exactly. I done live with negative 400 in my account, dog. Like for real. Yeah. Like I done slept on. My mama can vouch. I done been in Stone Mountain, Georgia, in an empty apartment with no furniture, and that bitch crying, eating ground turkey, rice, and corn. So I'm like, bro, what's gonna happen to me? Like I done been like to the lowest.
So you know? I think that is also a part of it because I'm the same way. Like I don't take a long time to make a decision. If I think about something and it sounds good, it's like, all right, I'm just do it because I always feel that if it doesn't work out, I can just reverse the decision and go back or do something else or whatever. Yep. But, so I think maybe I'm trying to figure out where that may come from, and maybe like a subconscious thing that certain experiences you go through growing up or just living kind of like subconsciously into how you make decisions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wasn't taught how to make quick decisions. You know, I stopped living with my parents when I was like 14 years old. And, they just sent me overseas to boarding schools by myself with my whole family here, all my friends here. So I'm in these third world countries by myself and having to figure out how to like, you know, you have to like read people, know if somebody's trying to take advantage of you or if they're your friend or whatever. So you got to think quickly, you know, and then there's like, and then there's like a language barrier. So like 12 to 13 years old, I'm out in these places by myself and having to just like think quickly on my feet just for like regular survival. But it wasn't like a conscious decision.
Yeah.
Like carried over into my adult life to where it takes me a split second to bust a move on anything.
Yeah, I'm rocking and rolling, bro. Rocking and rolling.
So let's kind of jump into entrepreneurship lane. When you decided that you was actually going to formalize and actually be an entrepreneur, what was the first venture that you tried?
Yeah, for sure. That's a great question. Relationships, once again. Shout out to Beyond Win, Relationships to Millions.
Oh, that's the home big dog.
He gave me a book. I'm looking at it right now. The Power of Human Connection. I'm all about connecting and being able to utilize relationships. So rewind back when I was here in Atlanta, I'm sleeping on my homie couch 7 months. I'm doing odds and ends jobs, bro. I'm working at a barbecue restaurant. I don't even eat pork. You know what I'm saying? I'm cutting people grass. My uncle owned a funeral home down in Florida. I'm catching a mega bus all the way down to Florida to dig graves, cut the graveyard grass just for $350 to come back to Atlanta with some money. Bro, I was like, I got to tell this story anymore because people don't know, bro. I was messed up during this time, but I always was hustling.
Yeah.
So then I got a job at Target.
Okay.
So if you got a degree, Target gives you a management position off rip if you working at Target. So at this time, it's like, I want to say like you're gonna make 50 grand a year or something like that salary.
Okay.
So cool. So I got that job. I'm working it for a year, but bro, and I'm manager of customer service. So it's like I'm the first line of defense. Let me speak to a manager. So I'm getting my ass cussed out every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. So I think that helped me later on in the entrepreneur journey, though, with customer service and being able to take things. But so I go back to Orlando one day, and my homeboy playing video games all day. I'm there for like a whole week.
Yeah.
And he just playing and he chilling at the crib. So I'm like, bro, what the fuck you been doing? Like, what you do? You ain't going to work or nothing? You're like, man, I done bought into these tax franchises. I'm making bread doing this.
Yeah.
Like, bet, how I get into it. You know what I'm saying? So he told me what happened, told me the investment I needed. He fronted me the bread for it, got some bread from Mom Dukes. And even although, once again, I pulled the trigger fast, I was only at Target for a year. And I quit doing the week before Black Friday. I quit at the worst time you can quit a job, especially in retail.
Hell yeah.
And I said, you know what, bro? I'm not finna work this. Even though I was just struggling for 7 months, they ain't had no money. I'm sleeping on my dog couch. Mm-hmm. Finally got myself a job. I ain't with it. So I quit, and I got my first entrepreneur journey was buying into these tax franchises and running the tax offices.
Cool. So the tax office, I think that may have been around the time when I met you. Not probably not when you started, but maybe.
Yeah, no, you met me at the end.
Yeah. And so I remember you used to do like the tax office thing. And so people don't know that there's a lot of money in taxes, man.
Bro, I ain't worked the job since then.
Yeah. So like, but kind of give us an idea of what type of numbers can actually be made in tax offices. And then there's a misconception that, that industry is only popping during tax time.
Yeah. So, man, the number crazy. I ain't hit these numbers, but the guy who put me in, I want to say, it's tax season, the meat of it is like 3-4 months. And I want to say these cats were making $500,000, $1 million in 3-4 months. You know what I'm saying? For me, I was able to make enough in this tax season time to not have to go back to work ever again. So I'm making between, I can make 50 grand in 3 months. I can make 70 grand, around that time. And I wasn't even the best in our franchise. Like I was almost on the bottom, to be real with you, because it was cats making 300, 400,000 in this time. They were in smaller cities. I started mine in Atlanta.
Okay.
And as in Atlanta, my competition level was crazy.
That's crazy.
It's 2-3 tax offices in my plaza I was in. And the rest of my group that we came in the tax franchise with, they were in smaller cities, Orlando, and it ain't Atlanta. But yeah, man, it's crazy because you start training like October, launch your office at this time. We were launching the day after Christmas. It take over your life for like 5 months. But you reap the benefits financially, but mentally it was a drain. I had to get out that game. Okay. I did it like 3 years. I expanded from Atlanta, then I went up to North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, opened up an office. So I will say it changed my life. I haven't worked a 9 to 5 since then, but it was stressful. I ain't like it. I ain't like it at all. But
Was it
that
like,
was the start of my journey.
yeah, was it like difficult? Like, did you have to have payroll or like employees under you, or like did you have to actually do the taxes yourself for all your clients, or you were able to like outsource it to like?
Great question. So we had employees. So that taught me how to interview people. This is my first. Well, I take that back because at Target I was a manager again. So I interviewed and I hired everybody, all the cashiers and
Okay.
all the customer service. So that's why I say in life, everything you do, you can use.
Yeah.
And it's like your building blocks. So let's go back to me being a teacher and me being a high school basketball coach. That's a leadership position.
Yeah.
So I've always been able to motivate people, get people, bring the best out of people. I know some people I can yell at, some people I can't. Some people take stuff personal, some people you can't. So every job or activity I have, I'm taking it with me. So in the tax office, I was able to hire people, hire the marketing team. I was doing taxes as well, like to answer your questions. I had to take a tax course, learn how to do them, learn the rules. I wasn't a CPA, I wasn't on a CPA level, but I can do a basic tax return. Okay. And I was able to hire people under me to handle that as well. So yeah, pay them out, all that.
So okay, dope. So when I when I think of like tax offices and stuff, I think a lot of your clients are, a lot of them could be super wealthy, and I always any situation that I'm in, I always try to see how I can connect myself with people that can either be investors, partners, or future relationships that can be built. I have a question. Is this like illegal or unethical in the tax industry if you identify your wealthy clients because you're doing their taxes, how much they make, and then reach out to them to like maybe form a partnership for like other businesses or to
have wealthy clients? I'm gonna stop you there. We were doing everybody with EIC credits, earned income credits. So we were in the hood, and that's how we were able to do a lot of volume is we were in the hood, so we were doing most everybody that's in a certain tax bracket.
Gotcha. Okay.
To be able to do so, I wasn't doing wealthy clients.
Gotcha. So you kind of pick a certain range of income, and then you focus on that.
Yeah, it's a strategic strategy to it. I don't want to get too deep in that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so we were in this area. That's just how they taught us to train. That's how they taught us. Because when you bought into this franchise, they kind of broke all this stuff down to us, and they help us pick locations and what we want to be in. That was their niche. Some people high-end niche, and some people, the inner city niche. And our niche was the inner city. Okay. So yeah, I didn't have any high-end clients. It was just mainly, every inner city. But I did build relationships though.
Yeah.
With, you get to talk to people and kind of educate them on some things. So it was a lot of, single mothers, 2-3 kids, and just sitting there. They taught me things about life, and I could teach them things from going to college and experiencing things. So I did build a lot of relationships from that.
Mm-hmm. So what was, I guess that was kind of your first stab at entrepreneurship. What was the next step, or what did after you said like, hey, this is too stressful, man, this is too much, it's mentally draining? Okay, what am I gonna do next? And then you just kind of hanging out for a couple months, or you already had an idea and you just was like, I'm do this now?
Great question. So now during this time, I get into I'm sitting in my office one day. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I see this guy on YouTube. I don't even know why I was on YouTube, but he had on the Burberry shirt folded, and he talking about real estate and shit. Yeah. So this is Jay Morrison at the time. So I'm like, damn, I don't really know. I knew my mom flipped the house when I was in high school, but I ain't paying no mind because once again, like I say, in high school, I'm thinking about hooping. I don't care nothing else. But I seen my mom flip a house and she got like 80 grand. But at this time, I ain't really thinking about it. And then my stepdad, he was a mortgage broker, I think. He did something with real estate. Yeah. So I saw real estate a little bit, but I ain't really lock in. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I see this guy, he on YouTube, Jay Morrison, and he talking about real estate. And I'm like, kid you not. I'm like, man, I'm going to meet this dude one day. I'm going to do some work with this dude. And I wrote it down. This was probably 2014, maybe. It was before he had the Jay Morrison Academy.
Okay.
So let's say 2013, 2014, whatever that was. And then I just kept following his videos, checking them out. Then he dropped the Jay Morrison. So now tax season over with. So, you know, tax season for the most part over April-ish, you know, if you're just doing regular tax returns. So now I'll come back to Atlanta, and I'm just studying. I joined the Jay Morrison Academy, and I started wholesaling. That's when I started wholesaling. So that was my next transition. Gotcha. And I caught on so fast. Like, I don't think what I did is normal because my business kind of slowed down too. Yeah. After that, like my first 2 months, man, I made like 18 grand. You know what I'm saying? Like 60 some days. I was just I out the gate. You know what I'm saying? And then I think I met Jay on Instagram or something. He gave me a call one day. It's like, man, I see what you out here doing. Come rock out with me. I'll never forget it. It was a Wednesday night because I was at Creflo Dollar Church. And he called me, and
right? That's in Norcross or Peachtree Corners?
Yeah, it's two of them. Yeah, it's one in Norcross, Peachtree Corners, then it's one south, down south. Okay. And I'll never forget it. That was the first time I talked to him. And I was excited because I wrote this shit down. You know what I'm saying? I wrote it down like, oh, man, I'm going to meet this dude and work with him. Yeah. And I cried. I cried this day. And then after that, you know, the history goes from there, you know, just working with JMA and helping build that whole machine at the time.
Wonderful. So you are kind of like a consultant, right? Because you work with other companies, but not in an employee relationship. It's more of helping them steer where their company needs to go or how they need to grow, or, you know, coming up with different systems. So like, what's that like when you're speaking to a business owner or an entrepreneur that's having some issues and they come to you for help? What are you doing to kind of analyze like what their issues or problems may be?
Yeah, man. So this past 2 years, me and my partner, Brett Holcomb, we started a company called Pirates Navy. And it's basically in a nutshell, taking companies from being pirates. If you think of Pirates of the Caribbean, they're not really having strategy. They're just going and getting the gold, stealing the rum,
out there,
drinking it all up, and then they got to do it again. No systems in it. They just out here willy-nilly. Like most people, they hustlers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's pirates. But the Navy is structured. The Navy, you making up your bed every day. You wearing your uniform. Y'all got systems in place. You're disciplined. So our whole goal is to take companies from being pirates to the Navy. The name's so fucking hard. We're going to toot our own horn on that. Pirates Navy. Yeah, the Navy. So overall, we're not even consultants to a certain extent, man. Our main goal, though, is to acquire companies, acquire businesses. Mm-hmm. So just how people buy real estate, we want to buy businesses. But on top of that, we also help customers grow and scale to be able to get ready for exit in 3 ways: through assets, alliances, and acquisitions. So we look at a business as the product, not the product as the product.
Gotcha.
We come in and we work above the business. So we could say, as a CEO, the business is the product. So as a CEO, you don't even want to be, when they say work on your business, you don't even want to work on your business. You want to work above it. You want to have somebody else as the CEO.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And start operating, and you scale in 3 ways: through assets, alliances, and acquisitions. So that's what we come in and do. If we can't, you know, our first thing is to acquire businesses. So anybody watching this, if y'all know anybody want to sell a business, definitely tap in. But we help companies grow in those 3 areas.
So I've been reading recently that the quickest way to being a multi-millionaire or even billionaire is not necessarily building a business, but buying a business.
Fine.
And that's where I think the whole mergers and acquisitions game comes in real hard. And so I know you've got way more experience in that than me. I mean, the only experience I have doesn't go past Googling and YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
When you say, you know, you look at a company and you try to like figure out, okay, what's the exit going to be? Can you go into more detail about like what an exit is for those that don't really know, and then the multiple ways you can exit, and then also why you would want to exit anyway?
Yeah, everybody don't want to exit, you know. We realize that sometimes people want to keep the business and pass it down to their family, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
It's a stat that shows that most baby boomers are looking to sell now. You know, the baby boomers are in their 70s, 80s now, and they don't want to pass down their businesses to their millennial kids or grandkids, because the millennial kids and grandkids don't want to run.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't run it.
Dry cleaning company or whatever it is. So, and then also 80% of businesses that are listed aren't sold. So this is a perfect time to go buy these companies because they're not being sold online. So these are good times to go in and kind of purchase businesses. So exiting, basically in simple terms, like I don't want to give too much high level jargon, if that's the word. It is basically setting your business up to sell at a high multiple. So, you know, you making your company making it, different industries have different multiples. But if you're, you know, certain industries, if you get $1 million revenue, depending on the industry, you could sell 3 times that. You know what I'm saying? But your company is worth $4 or $5 million. And also, acquiring businesses helps your business grow. The exit. So say you got Oduwole Enterprises, right? And you have all these companies, and say you go acquire a sales company under your Oduwole. Now the valuation of Oduwole Enterprises has increased because now you have this other asset. Think about Amazon.
Yep.
Amazon can say, Facebook, whomever, Amazon got the money to go make a grocery store. But they said, no, we just gonna fucking go buy Whole Foods.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Instead of doing all the starting from scratch. No, I'm gonna go buy it. So my mind frame now, I ain't building nothing. I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
You can buy traffic. You can buy people don't know. You can buy Facebook groups.
Yeah.
So you about to launch you launching a podcast. Whoever your target audience is, you can see what type of Facebook groups in that category and approach people. It's people buying Facebook groups with no money down.
Yeah, very true.
You know what I'm saying? You can go buy a Facebook group. You can go buy a podcast. You can go buy email lists. These are assets, as I said once again, that increase the valuation of companies. So think about, some companies have assets that they're underutilizing. They may have a sales team, or they may have great processes and systems that they can license and sell. That's an asset. You can have alliances that increase your valuation. Starbucks and Barnes and Nobles. They got every Barnes and Nobles is a Starbucks in there.
Yeah.
Remember Motel 6? I don't know if people been in the gutter like that, but me and Mom Dukes Motel 6 for a month when I was in the 3rd grade, Killarney Elementary. Yeah. They have an alliance with Domino's Pizza. Every Motel 6 is a Domino's Pizza in them.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah. So these are alliances. Tidal did an alliance with Sprint when Jay-Z dropped his album.
I remember that. Yeah.
That increased the valuation. So think about these. And then, of course, acquisitions, like we said. So all of these things, having those in place, having systems that helps, you know, these private funds and private equity funds and stuff come and want to buy your business to get ready for sale. So that's basically what we're doing. I don't want to get too high level because I might lose people, but we just helping clients that say, hey, man, I want to be ready to sell. So we say, all right, let's see what assets, alliances, and acquisitions we can make to get you ready to sell at a higher multiple. So this past year, we were able to get, first year doing it, 2 businesses that we don't have 100% ownership in, but we got, you know, a pretty penny. I don't want to say it yet, but we got a pretty good percentage in them. So right now we're in the process of doing the business and doing the work. I don't want to talk too much.
Okay.
It's a story they tell the story of the 1849 or whatever gold rush. You know about San Francisco people.
Yeah, everybody going to California.
Yeah. But it's a story, and the guy told the gold rush really started in like 1847. That's when people made the most money, right? Before the official gold rush started.
Yeah.
So then when 1849, I could be 1749, 1849, whatever it is, that's when everybody came over. So the guys who was getting all the money, who found the most gold 2 years before, now they selling the picks, the shovel, buy jeans. So now they selling the processes, the products to get the gold.
Yeah.
But they weren't trying to tell you how to sit. They weren't trying to do that at 47. They were doing the business. So that's where we at right now. I ain't trying to teach how to do it quick yet. Because right now with business buying, it's 1847.
Gotcha.
I'm in the business. I'm trying to build a real business. Then I'll start having courses and teaching and stuff. But right now, we building this business, baby.
That's dope. That's dope. So what's on the horizon for you, man, as far as in the next 5 years? What do you kind of want to see yourself doing 2026?
2026, man, our goal is to have $1 trillion in the room, man, of companies. That's our goal, like valuation companies. So that means everybody we work with, all these companies, is to have at least $1 trillion in the room of companies that we work with. We want to continue to acquire businesses, personal level, split your wig. I gonna relaunch split your wig. Really have that popping in the podcast space. Want to be married and shit, living like the Huxtables. You know what I'm saying? I want to be that. You know what I'm saying? All my little bachelor days over with. So I want to definitely be married, but definitely be able to help, client, not even clients, partners, to in total is $1 trillion worth of valuations that we have under our belt. So that's the vision.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Well, when you do start teaching what you do, I'm gonna be the first student, man. Cause
no, you already know. I already done gave you my secret sauce, who I'm learning from. You know what I'm saying? I always say, T, don't tell nobody, T.
I'll keep it to myself. Yeah, that's super dope, man. Hey, thank you so much for taking this time. I know you got somewhere to be right now, but thank you so much for kind of taking a few minutes out of your day to talk to me, man. And really, really appreciate you, man. You've been there for me several times, man, and I'm eternally grateful. And hey, man, anything you ever need from me, bro, it's already done, man. So,
and it's all love. And I always tell people, I try to post it on the gram or whatever. It's like, you my dog, bro. You know what I'm saying? We met. Sometimes people in life, you don't got to grow up with people for them to be your ace boon coon, as they say, or you to be tight. But for me, and people don't know, like after me leaving JMA in 2017, 2018, I basically had to start over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I went damn near. What saved me is I knew how to day trade and I had some assets.
Yeah.
But my liquid cash was dwindling, because I wasn't financially responsible.
Yeah.
I wasn't physically responsible mentally. So I blew a lot of money, dog, and I wasn't saving money. Because when I was over there in JMA, to be real, the money was coming. We had the sale team and I basically had to start over, and you always help your boy out, and I'm still, I had a big IRS debt. I'm still climbing up out of it.
Everybody had an IRS debt before.
Man, I don't even want to tell y'all how much I
yeah. You ain't an entrepreneur if you ain't, you know what I'm saying, got a bill from the IRS, like, hey man, for real, like
yeah, so
this down into payments.
But what keeps me motivated, dog, I think about Nipsey all the time, and it's like, this shit a marathon. So I know I ain't officially where I can't want to be financially, but I know I'm going to get there. You know what I'm saying? I know mentally I'm the best I ever felt, though. You know what I'm saying? That's what matters to me. So I just want to thank you and give you your flower too, bro, because anytime I need AT, bro, let me hold such and such, whatever. It's like, you got me. So I appreciate that too, dog.
No problem, man. So thank you guys for watching this video. What I want you guys to do is follow Brandon on all his socials. Hey, B, can you just drop your socials real quick so the people can follow you?
Yeah, it's super simple. It's on all social platforms at Brandon J Wigley, BRANDON, the letter J, WIGLEY.
Cool. And I'm gonna also put that in the description of this. All right, guys. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and we will see you on the next video. Hey, Brandon, again, thanks, man. I'll talk to you soon, brother.